We understand the Frenchman is supposed to go number 1 overall. We know Bronny's probably going number 2 overall.
Yep.
We know Kling Kong has an opportunity. Yep. What do we need to know tonight, Wendy? What for real? What do we need to know, and how is this going to go?
First off, the Pacers are working. The Pacers are working.
Ooh.
They're. I'm not necessarily about tonight, but they're trying to get Tyrese some help. They're not done working. They're on the prowl. They see opportunities. We'll talk later, okay?
Pacers on the prowl. Headline.
Pacers are on the prowl. Pacers are on the prowl. All right. So as of last night, I don't think the Atlanta Hawks knew exactly who they were going to take. I think they're leaning towards Zachary Ricochet, who's he's a safe pick at number 1. He's 6'9". He can handle the ball a little bit. I actually think he's a really good passer. I got to see him play in person, but he didn't average almost any assists in the French League this year, so maybe I'm wrong. He's not the type of guy that's going to come in and change the direction of a franchise, but he could come in and be a good 3rd or 4th starter on a really good team someday. And this draft, that's pretty good. And then probably Alex Sarr, who's a 7'1", really rangy, another French. I think he's 19 or 20, a French guy. Played in Australia this year. You're drafting upside there. You're talking like a few years away from him really being an impact player. Where this draft gets interesting is at the number 3 pick. That's where we're going to get some action because the Rockets are holding the number 3 pick. They've had it available for various packages for a month or so now. I don't know, maybe more. And what they do with that pick is going to tell us a lot about what they're thinking as a franchise and the way this draft is going to go. Jonathan Gavoni, who was our draft lead dog here, he believes that Houston's going to keep that pick and use it on Reed Shepherd out of Kentucky, who is an elite three-point shooter, one of the best three-point shooters we've seen coming out of college. And even though he doesn't have huge size, his defensive stats are pretty good. He's actually pretty good stealing the ball. But where this gets interesting is if the Rockets draft Donovan Clingan from right here in Bristol, Connecticut, where I'm at right now, from UConn. And the reason that is, guys, is because Houston's got a couple centers on their roster. They got Alperen Şengün from Turkey, who just had a breakout year last year. And they got Jabari Smith Jr., who last year Houston actually finished the season 16-7. And they did that mostly when Şengün was hurt and Jabari Smith was playing center. If they draft Clingan, what that could mean is that they're willing to part with Alperen Şengün. And that could get really interesting, especially when you combine the fact that they did this trade last night with Brooklyn. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I know there was this big Mikal Bridges trade, and, I'll tell you who knows Bridges is Tyrese Haliburton. He was his teammate on Team USA last year. I think you guys talked
they're in a
about
group
that.
text, actually. Why don't you report on it?
Yeah. Didn't they make you an honorary member, Tyrese, of the Villanova gang?
I was like substitute Dante DiVincenzo for like
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You were substitute for Dante.
That's a big compliment. His fade, always has a clean fade, DiVincenzo.
It is crisp.
Was that your first time being Italian?
Or white?
Yeah, first time being Italian. I've been to Italy once.
Oh, okay. So you're walking around. Grazie.
This is like my second time being Italian.
Okay, all right. That's good. That's good journalism.
That was such a fun team last summer. It was a great team to be around. Bridges
win? So it wasn't super fun.
Okay, it didn't end good.
They were cool guys.
It didn't end well. I didn't end well, but it was a fun month. All right.
Who did we lose to?
We talked about this.
Don't even say it. Don't even
we lost. We actually lost a few games.
We're focused on the future. Pat, we're focused on the future.
Wendy, you're the one that brought it up. Who did we lose to?
We lost to Lithuania.
What? I didn't.
They couldn't miss.
They got
Zakaitis?
It was unbelievable.
Zakaitis
is from Lithuania. Yes.
Zakaitis. Learn.
They beat us. Then Germany beat us.
Germans beat us in basketball.
They actually won the gold. They won the gold, actually. Good team. And then we lost to Canada.
Oh, my God. Jesus. This is embarrassing. Are we okay going to the Olympics? We're losing to Canada in sports? I didn't know that's even possible.
They brought in Edie, okay? No one was prepared for Zach Edey at the Olympics at the gold level.
It is a new year, though. It's a new year. New team.
They brought in this. They brought in this guy you may have heard of named Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He had a little bit of a role.
He's pretty good.
They're gonna beat the piss out of everybody this year. It's a revenge tour for sure. He doesn't need to say it, but it's true. They're gonna
Team USA is.
Team USA is going to.
All right, let's talk about the future, Wendy. Let's talk about the future, please.
What was that?
All right. Anyway, so I got to tell you.
So we suck at basketball. What is the Olympics are right around the corner.
1 month
And
away.
we suck.
Listen, that
We're
was like
losing to Lithuania.
That was like the
I don't even know where that is on the map. I couldn't even tell you where
They
that
were
is.
taking juice probably or something like that.
Are those
Cheating.
monks that I see on the internet shooting hoops? Are they going to beat our team too? Because they're from some place I've never heard of and they get basketball. How's this even happen?
This is fuel.
Sorry, I brought it up.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll see this year.
We can't be losing to Lithuania in basketball.
It happened. Good team. Congrats to them.
They were a good team.
It wasn't a
Jonas
real tournament, though.
Valanciunas.
It wasn't the Olympics.
It's a World Cup.
It was a World
We
Cup.
need an
Okay, does that
82-point win over Angola day one. Just something to think about.
Are they shooting at a bigger hoop than us? Is there
First
like a
game.
That day it felt like it.
Did
but
they get like
weren't.
strokes in this thing, like golf? Is that how they beat you?
Yeah,
No, they couldn't miss.
35.
I wish you. I want you to watch the highlights after the show today.
Well, it's gonna be a lot of Lithuania.
It was unbelievable. It was a special performance by their team.
All right, let's move along. I'm tired of
I
thinking
hate
about it.
Lithuania.
I'm sorry.
now.
Here's the highlights. Look at the.
No, that's the Canada game.
Oh, we don't need Canada.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you see it.
Lithuania is the one that I am a little bit.
Kelly Olynyk,
By
your
the
guy.
way, Mikhail Bridges had one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in my life in that Canada game. Nobody ever going to remember it, but he made a 4-point play with 1 second left to force overtime. All right.
We
Listen,
lost in overtime to these people.
Yo, come on, Wendy, go ahead, Wendy. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Tyrese. It's my fault.
Apologize.
It's my fault. I take accountability for bringing it up. I'm sorry. All right.
This is our game.
Bridges trade.
It's our
This
game.
is our game.
Lithuania.
trade.
It's draft night. This is future. It's future.
Yeah,
It's
you're
future.
right.
All right. The draft trade.
Which a Frenchman's getting drafted number one. Oh my God!
Back-to-back
Probably
years.
two.
Have we lost?
Might be go
2 years in a
This is the
row.
Lithuania game. Yeah. But
Guy just got 4 rebounds for himself. Are we giving any effort in
I
the
was going to
paint?
say, can we get a body on?
I don't know if I want to
that
relive
was a
this.
problem.
But
saw that guy at
that
LA.
was a
Lucas?
problem.
Wendy's giving us a little journalism on it. In the paint was a problem.
Ignis Brazdeikis.
Okay. Listen.
Well, what's that? Is that a phrase?
Let's talk
in
about
Lithuanian?
this. Let's talk.
Oh my God! The guy took forever.
Good Lord.
Man.
I am so
This
sorry.
guy, we lost to that guy.
20 to 10.
What?
23-12. What was the final score against Lithuania?
I don't.
Austin
They
Reeves.
won. They won.
I don't remember.
Mouse in the house.
Do we? Okay.
Jeez.
Is this what we're doing?
Oh, we
This
just
can't
I
happen
said-
at
I
the
said-
Olympics.
I
We-
said after I leave,
Bang.
but we
Oh,
don't have to.
Austin Reeves isn't going to be
don't-
defending anyone on
No,
the low
he's not.
block. In
We
the
don't. We
Olympics.
don't have to do this.
I think we're.
Austin Reeves.
All right.
get
All
coached
right.
up by
Let's
JJ.
talk about this
Who's the
Rockets
coach?
trade.
Yes, please, Wendy. Thank you. You got us into this, though, Wendy.
yeah.
This is
way-
100% on you.
I take accountability. It's my fault. I'll
Go ahead,
never let
Wendy.
it happen.
Sorry, we're sorry.
All right.
Go ahead.
We are sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry.
I know this Bridges trade. Is a really big deal, and we could talk about it for a while. But man,
That
I
guy
wanna
made a
talk
4-point play against Canada.
That's overtime.
All right. I'm so sorry.
Bigger deal than lose.
about this trade that Houston made is way more interesting to me. All right, because let me just tell you what happened. So Brooklyn does the Bridges trade, right? And they do it by announcing to the whole NBA, we're in a tank, baby. We are going to lose as many games as possible for at least the next year. I don't know what's going to happen after this season, but for this season coming up, all we're going to do is lose. Now, that is a fine strategy because the 2025 draft is going to be a really good draft, but they didn't have their picks. They didn't control their draft the next 2 years. That was controlled by Houston from the James Harden trade 2 Harden trades ago. Not the James Harden trade to Philly, not the James Harden trade to the Clippers, the James Harden trade to Brooklyn. That trade is why the Rockets controlled the Nets draft. And so the Nets really were blocked from doing a proper tank because they didn't control their draft. The Rockets went ahead and gave them their picks back the next 2 years. Now they got two firsts and 2 swaps. So they traded 1 first and 1 swap for 2 firsts and 2 swap from Phoenix in the future. But guys, when you have the information that Brooklyn is tanking like a full-on 2015-ish tank, which is what cost them Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, you had that information in Houston, and you give them their picks back. Like, what is going on? And what's going on is Houston's loading up on Phoenix stuff, Phoenix trade assets to try to make a deal with Phoenix. In my 22 years covering the NBA, I've never seen a trade like this. There's obviously something else going on where I don't have all the information because I don't get it. Because if you were Houston and you had the Nets picks and the Nets had announced they were tanking and you wanted to make a trade and improve your team, just hold the Nets picks. Those picks are super duper valuable. The Nets 2025 pick right now is one of the top 5 assets in the league, and you're holding it. And not only did they do that, not only did they agree to trade it back, Brooklyn ran to the league office and got the deal done last night. They called the lawyers at home and said, "Get on your computer. We're making this deal official before Houston can sleep on it." And so that deal is fascinating to me. Houston is working on something. Now, what Woj and other people are connecting here is Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
If Phoenix wants their picks back that they traded for Durant, or their picks and their swaps, that could happen here. I don't know. I don't know where KD's head is at. I decided long ago I would never try to assume what KD is thinking. I would not do that. So I'm not going to do that. What I do know is that KD and Devin Booker's relationship is still very strong, that they're both preparing to join Tyrese in Vegas next week to go on this journey to try to win this gold medal. And that Devin Booker, Lithuania is not in the Olympics right now. And
they didn't even make the Olympics?
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say anything. I have touched the stove yet again.
They could qualify.
They could.
They can qualify.
They can qualify.
Lithuania will qualify. The Lithuania squad, they can fill up the bucket.
A lot of TJ McConnell's on that team.
He scored 110. TJ McConnell's of Lithuania scored 110 on Team USA.
110?
110.
Did they play with 4 guys?
You guys are acting like these other countries don't have basketball players. They are good.
Not like us.
That's the wrong mentality.
No, that's not
anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway,
go ahead.
I don't
Windy,
know.
go ahead.
Houston's got something going on, guys. Houston's got something going on. I don't understand. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I don't fully understand why they wouldn't just hold the Nets picks, because those Nets picks are so valuable. They did get more stuff from Phoenix, but we got to watch Houston. We got to watch Houston at the number 3 pick tonight, and we got to watch what Houston does with this stuff that they just got from Brooklyn.
Let's say Kevin Durant trade was to happen. Is it normal NBA would happen like today? Is that type of thing, like draft day, a lot of action takes place? Is that what?
I am expecting there to be a very active 2 or 3 days here between now and Saturday. Saturday is when everybody's opt-outs are, specifically Paul George. He's going to have to pretty much make up his mind what's going to happen between now and Saturday. I don't think Houston's involved in that. But Paul George is in a situation where if he waits until Sunday, he becomes a free agent. But if he waits until Sunday and he opts out of his contract, he can really only go someplace what's got cap space. And there's only a few teams that can pay him a max salary. If he opts into his contract, he becomes tradable, and he can go to a whole bunch of different places where they can then give him an extension. So Paul George has got a really big 3-4 days here. But there's going to be a number. I think there's a number of players who are available on the trade market, some of them were available at the trade deadline and didn't get done, where maybe they get dealt. I think we could see 3 to 5 significant trades in the next 3 or 4 days for sure.
I like that, Wendy. That's good news for us.
What's Durant's contract situation? Is there which suitors I guess could afford him?
Well, he's got a bunch of years and a bunch of money left on the deal. I don't have it right in front of me.
That's what we were talking about.
He makes $15 million. Wouldn't you? I thought he doesn't have to sign off on it, but at players at his level, typically you would involve them. And look, Pat, don't you like the idea that player has agency no matter what his contract says?
Oh, yeah. I am a fan. I negotiate opt-outs into all my deals quickly and then utilize them. And then people say, well, why is it? Well, yeah, we got this. We made this decision. But in the NBA, it's not even opt-outs that take place, seemingly. It's just as somebody that watches from the outside in. It's they just, You know, like that seems to be the NBA's move, and
so
not
we'll
everybody.
See though, because right now there's some teams kind of playing hardball with some of their star players. The Clippers right now, we'll see where they're at by Saturday. Clippers are playing hardball with Paul George. Paul George wants a 4-year max contract. He thinks he's earned it. He did just have a very good season. There are teams out there that I think would give him the 4-year max contract, but the Clippers are offering him 3 and less than the max, and they're basically like, we don't think you're going to walk. We think you're going to stay home here in LA. We'll see whether that works out or not. The Warriors are playing hardball with Klay Thompson right now. Klay is sitting there. He knows he's got to take a pay cut. Okay, it happens to just about everybody at some point. They got to take a pay cut. He's looking there. He's saying, hey, wait a minute. Andrew Wiggins took a pay cut. He got a 4-year deal. Draymond Green took a pay cut. He got a 4-year deal. I want a 4-year deal, even if I got to take a pay cut. Meanwhile, the Warriors are there. They're looking to make other big trades. They're out there and telling him to hang on. And they're like, look, Steph's got 2 years left on his contract. We just gave Steve Kerr a new contract. We gave him 2 years. You know, they're playing hardball with Klay right now. So, yeah, I think that the NBA has gotten – the players have really gotten – the star players have really gotten what they've wanted a lot over the last decade. Right now, there's a little bit of a pushback. We'll see if it first off, if it works and if it lasts.
Okay, and also I like all the clauses they have in their contract so that people can get paid more if they stay with the team. I think they acknowledge that it was a potential issue with players just moving and trying to do it, but be who you can afford to be. The NBA proves that more and more, and you left one off the list there, seemingly. Go ahead, Conor.
Yeah, Windy, what's going on with Miami and Jimmy Butler? Because it seemed as though he wanted that extension and then kind of haven't really heard anything on that front. Is that going to get done? And is Miami another team that's going to add a piece, or is that situation not kind of signed, sealed, delivered, and Jimmy Butler might be on the move too?
Great question, Connor. From what I understand,
journalism, finally! Hell yeah, that was good.
From what I understand, Jimmy Butler is going to plan to be back with the Miami Heat next year, and even if there's no extension, he's going to focus on next season. He's got a player option in the summer of 2025 next year that he can use. He can basically be in Paul George's situation. I think Jimmy Butler wants to be in Miami. There's teams that have definitely said, hey, are you looking to get out? And I think he said, I'm solid in Miami, and I think that's been communicated to the Heat. I think Jimmy Butler is going to be with the Heat this year and focus on this season, and then we'll see what happens next summer. I do think the Heat are always looking to improve. They have been in the market trying to add somebody next to Jimmy Butler. We saw them go for Dame Lillard. I think they were trying to get Drew Holiday. I think they will be in the market and see if they can get something done. They don't have the greatest assets right now, but a big move for Miami this summer is re-signing Bam Adebayo. He's extension eligible. He's under contract, but he's extension eligible. That's an extension they might do this summer.
Under contract, extension eligible, need more money up front. I love the way the NBA operates. Shout out to the NBA and their players for negotiating these deals and getting to this point, and only being like 50 of you guys in the world at any given time. That is a phenomenal thing. You said earlier, and I know you have to go in like a minute or so, you said something about the Pacers are on the prowl. Okay, we need to address that. Yeah. And is there any questions that we didn't ask that we need to know about as we go into the draft tonight or the NBA?
Well, I would just say I think the Pacers, obviously they're in the Eastern Conference. They see these Eastern teams getting better. They have assets at their disposal. And I think that they are active, from what I understand. They're active, looking to upgrade. They want to get Tyrese and Pascal, and get TJ some help. When's somebody going to help TJ out?
Amen.
I'm trying.
But I think TJ is pretty much untouchable. Tyrese, like if you list untouchable guys in the league, I think TJ's on that list. I think he's untouchable. Agreed. But I do think the Pacers are interested in some names. I don't think it's going to be like an all-star level player, but Chad Buchanan and those guys have done a great job. And
you had the name right there. You tried
Kevin
not to
Pritchard.
say it. That's what we just heard.
He tried to say Kevin Pritchard, our GM.
Kevin Pritchard. I wanted to make sure I said Kevin Pritchard, President, Chad Buchanan, GM. I didn't want to stumble over that.
Oh, I knew
they've done a great job.
Obviously,
Big Buke.
Well, now you know.
Carlisle.
I thought that was a
Rick
player.
Carlisle.
I thought that was a player.
Is that a 3-point shot?
Chad Buchanan, good role player.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I'm going to make my hotel
Lithuania.
reservations. I'm going to make my hotel reservations right now for Indy 500 weekend next year, because I'm not going to be left.
I like that
again.
Yeah,
I like that,
Pacers.
Wendy.
Yeah, believe
like
in
that.
Tyrese, believe in these Pacers, and we believe that you will cover the draft in a spectacular fashion tonight on ESPN and ABC.
And I will be seeing Tyrese with Team USA very soon. Take it easy.
See you next week.
Hey, enjoy Paris. Don't get in
All
that
right,
river.
take
They're
care.
pooping in that river.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian
That's
Wynn.
right here.
Yeah, don't don't poop in the river, first of all. And then also, don't get in the poopy waters of Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Windy. Thank you.
Windy.